Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with part 2 of my book haul, and it's a big one, so we'll just get it started. So a lot of these were bought from Book Outlet. This cover's a little wrecked, but okay, so this is Wild and Crooked by Leah Thomas. I thought this was a young adult contemporary, but I'd read a little bit of the back and it says it talks about first-degree murder, premeditated, a dad on death row, a woman pregnant, a widow. So I'm even more intrigued. I know it's young adult, but I'm more intrigued. This is Colley, What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer, and I read another one of her books, 2 of her books, Letters to the Lost and More Than We Can Tell, and absolutely loved it. I have A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I haven't read it yet because I'm waiting for the series to be done, and I'm waiting for the second. I think it might be a duology, and the second book is super expensive, so I'm waiting for it to go down in price. So this is a young adult contemporary, but I loved her 2 books that I read. So when I saw this on Book Outlet, I got it. And this is the 6th book in the Keepers of Lost Cities, Nightfall. All the other books that I have are paperback, but this was so cheap on Book Outlet, I couldn't pass it up. So I think the series is ending next year, so I'll probably start reading it at the end of the year or next year and read the entire series. And this has to do with elves, and it's a middle grade, I think, but everybody absolutely loves it, and it was super cheap on Book Outlet. Another book from Book Outlet, Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Helen Hagen. I can't see her name. And this is a book that Books and Lala talked about, and she really liked it. And so I thought, I've read quite a few books that Books and Lala said that she liked, and I like them too, so I went for it. This is Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams, and this is the second book. The first one was the what was it called? The Bromance Book Club. That's what it was. And I really enjoyed it. So I just read that a couple months ago. And I like the characters, that it's following characters that were in the first book, and they're the main characters in this one. So adult contemporary. This one is In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley. And this is, I think she is asked where she's going to be in 5 years. And that night she gets engaged to a guy, but then she dreams, or she wakes up the next day and she's in a different life, totally married to a different guy. And then the next day after that, she's back to where it was. So it's kind of, I think, figuring out what is going on. So that is an adult contemporary. Another, I'm really digging the adult contemporary lately. You Were There Too by Colleen Oakley. And this is an adult contemporary about a girl and a guy. They're married, and she keeps dreaming about this other man. She doesn't know, she's never met him. And then at some point she meets him, and he's been dreaming about her too. So then they're trying to figure out what that means. So can't wait to read that. This is the second book to The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. It's a young adult fantasy. It was on Book Outlet, so I got it. Another booktuber that I really, really take seriously when she says that she loves books is Peruse Project, Reagan. And she read this not too long ago, The Library of Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith. And I went right away, and it was on sale, so I bought it. And it has to do with libraries. That's all I know. And I mean, when she explained it, I was like, oh yes, I want to read it. But I remember it was about a library. And this is The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, and another booktuber, Sarah Swan, Sarah's Nightstand. She read this and she said she really liked it, and it's a true crime classic. So I want to read that. And it's following the serial killer Ted Bundy. And this is a adult thriller, A Nearly Normal Family by M.T. Edwardson. And I don't know anything about thrillers, and I want to keep it that way because I don't want to be spoiled. This is the third book in the, what's it called? The Girl in 6E trilogy. I'm reading the second book right now, and this book became available on Book Outlet, so I got it because probably next month or the month after, I'll just finish off the series. The next one I got was One Day in December by Josie Silver. This has, it's related to, I don't know if it's related to Christmas, but it's around Christmas. So I'll probably read that in December. And it's a girl, she sees a guy and she is totally smitten with him. And then come to find out a few months later, he starts dating one of her friends, and it talks about them through the years or something. I think it's 10 years. Now, this is Catherine Center, How to Walk Away. And it's an adult contemporary, I think. And it was on Book Outlet. And she's been talked about lately. I got her other book in here, and they were both for really cheap, so I got both of them. And this one is Honor Bound by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre. And this is the second book. I think the other one was Honor Among Thieves. Yes. And I don't know if this is a duology or a trilogy. Yes, it is a trilogy. The last one is supposed to come out this year. So I have it on my Amazon wish list, and I'm just waiting for it to be on sale so I can get it, and then I'll be able to read it. And I think this is a sci-fi. So, young adult sci-fi. Now, lately, I've been hearing a lot about this series, and it was on sale on Amazon, so I got it. It's Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolf, and it's a young adult fantasy, and a lot of people are saying it's underrated. So I'm going to collect the paperback edition, so I'll have to wait. I think the second book in the paperback is coming out this year, and the third book in the hardcover is coming out this year. So I'll have to wait till next year. But I've already figured out the series I want to read for this year anyway, so I'm just collecting them right now. This is a young adult contemporary, and Haley from Haley and Bookland talked about this. The Unlikelies by Carrie Firestone. I got this on Book Outlet again. Young adult contemporary. Really digging the young adult contemporary and adult contemporary lately. And this is The Weight of the Stars by Kate Ankrum. A lot of people were talking about that at the beginning of the year. I read her other book, The Wicker King, and I enjoyed it. So this was on sale. And what I like, it's a fast read. The way it's written, it's really a fast read. So I really like that. And I can't tell you what this is about. I don't remember. I remembered when it says dreams of traveling across the stars, but a career in space isn't an option for a girl. So sounds like it might be maybe sci-fi. So can't wait. Now this is like a classic, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. And it was on Book Outlet, so I decided to get it. I've been getting quite a few classics lately. I want to start reading them a little bit more. My goal last year was to read one, and I didn't. I didn't even read one. So this year, I want to make sure to at least read one. Okay, so the next one is the other book by Catherine Center, and Things You Save in a Fire. And I know this is about a firefighter, and she's a girl, and how she gets treated in firehouses. It's not that long of a book. It's just over 300 pages. So it was on Book Outlet, so I decided to get it. They had a sale. I can't remember what the sale was, but I ended up ordering a couple of orders, and that's how I ended up with all these books. This is Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. And this, I believe, is a thriller, so I don't want to know anything about it. An adult thriller. This is a young adult contemporary, Fake It Till You Break It, from Jen P. Nguyen. And this was from Book Outlet. It was super cheap, so I got it. If it's there and it's cheap, I love it. This is Fire and Heist by Sarah Beth Durst. And it has to do with dragons, so I know it's young adult fantasy, and I don't know if this is part of a series or anything. I'll have to do some research, but it was on Book Outlet and it was super cheap, so I decided to get it. Then this one, I know it has to do with, it's like medical. It's Symptoms of a Heartbreak by Sana Sharapotra. And it's a young adult. I know that. And let me see. Let me see if I can quickly. No, it doesn't really say. Yeah, she's in med school. So, love that. The next book is the second in a series. And I had the first book, so I decided to get it. I think it's only a duology. So, it's The Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. I think it might be a duology. This is Kingdom of Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. Again, it was on Book Outlet. This didn't come out that long ago. Young adult fantasy. I have the first book. It goes on Book Outlet. I got to get it because, you know, much cheaper than buying it anywhere else. So this is the Trial of Lizzie Borden, and it's a true story by Kara Robertson. So you can see I got quite a few that are kind of true crime, or and this is about a girl that committed murder and got away with it. So I wanted to have that. It was on Book Outlet. This is also a second book in a series, and it was on sale on Amazon. It's Ember Queen. It's the second book, I believe, to Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. And I think the third one is coming out soon. Oh, this is the third one. This is the third one. I have the first two, Ash Princess and Lady Smoke. So this finishes the trilogy. So, and it's a young adult fantasy, so I'll be able to just binge read it next year because I already have all my books planned out for this year. So this is an adult contemporary, The Matchmaker's List by Sonia Lawley. And that's all I know. Somebody talked about it and I was like, yep, I want that. And it was on Book Outlet, so super cheap. This is a Christmas book, and I really like reading Christmas book in December, so I wanted to make sure I have a few of them. And this was on Book Outlet, so it's an adult contemporary, Christmas Camp by Karen Shaler. This is Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera, which is, he usually writes contemporary, but this is a young adult fantasy, so I had to get it. We're getting close to the end, peeps. I know, it's a lot. And this is Lucky Caller by Emma Mills, young adult contemporary. I love Emma Mills. I think I've read all her books. So this, you know, came out and it became cheap on Amazon, so I got it. This, Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sims. It's a young adult fantasy. I heard quite a few people talk about it, so I got it. This is The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. This is a retelling and young adult fantasy. And I like Kirsten White, so I got that book. This is the final book in the Diviners series, The King of Crows by Libra Bray. It's like kind of dark fantasy. Now I have all 4 books, so I can binge read it. Again, probably not this year, next year. This is Love and Other Train Wrecks by Leah Conan, and this is a young adult fantasy, or a young adult contemporary, sorry. And I love those. They're such quick reads. I enjoy them. Now this, I saw a few people talk about this one like years ago, The Doll Maker of Krakow by R.M. Romero. And I think it's Russian inspired. That's all I remember. And I totally, it was on Book Outlet, so had to get it. Now the next 3 are some that I was really looking forward to. So Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, The Last Hour, book 1. This is part of the Shadowhunter world. Love the Shadowhunters. I've read everything. I think the only one I haven't read is the new book with Magnus and Alec, and it's only because I'm waiting for more to come out because I like to read them back to back because I enjoy them so much. The next one is Marie Lu, The Kingdom of Back. I've been reading all her books and I love them. I don't even know what this is about, but if Marie Lu wrote it, I'm going to buy it because she's an auto-buy author. Now, the last book is another book that I was so waiting for. It's by Sarah J. Maas, House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City, the first book in a trilogy, and it has to do with fairies, I think, and fantasy. I've read all her books, so anything that she's going to write, I'm going to buy. And that's it. That is my huge book haul. I probably won't be buying books for quite a bit because I have enough to keep me reading for quite a while. So that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.